Hey guys, it's me again, Barry with Barry's 8-Track and Classic Car Radio Repair on my own time for a change. It's 4:15 on a Saturday night, and I am decidedly not working on 8-track players or talking to customers or typing out invoices or searching for a belt or any of that. I'm doing what I want to do, which, believe it or not, when I'm doing what I want to do, it's not working on radios or 8-track players. That's my job. Working at home can be pretty cool. Living at work, not so much. It's starting to feel a little bit more like living at work than it does working from home. So I need to find some divergence here. Since this is legal in my state, let's indulge and then do some scientific research. What can go wrong? So here we go. Okay, give me a moment. Excuse me. Okay. Now, a quick word about my videos. Everybody knows they're the worst looking videos on YouTube. There's a reason for that. I have to use old equipment that allows me to switch views and to do picture in picture while I'm doing it instead of in post editing, because in my line of work there is no time for editing. What I record on video, every single demo video you've seen of me demonstrating a radio or 8-track player, is recorded straight to DVD and goes straight on YouTube. There is no editing of any kind, and that's why you hear a lot of you hear a lot of stuttering, because I'm not working off a script. It's just when the customer's unit is finished and ready to demonstrate, I turn on the equipment and I hit it. There's no editing at all. There's no time for editing. And I'm pretty sure that when you're using newer cameras, you have to do all your picture-in-picture stuff and all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure you have to do that in post-editing. Since I'm only doing demo videos, they don't really have to look especially good. They don't even have to be engineered that well. They just have to show that the customer's unit works properly when it leaves the shop. So when he gets it back, if there's a problem when he installs it, I can say, well, you really need to look at your speakers or something, because you can see you've got the DVD and I've got the YouTube video that your unit, is perfect when it left the shop. So that's another reason that I don't go to great lengths to try to improve my video system. I'm just not quite ready to take on all that extra technology. I can do everything that I really need to do from right here. I can do picture in picture. If I really wanted to, I could do if I really wanted to, I could do some really outdated white patterns, like maybe this one. Get a couple more cool ones. This one's like from the 1940s, I think. So I mean, I've got all the basic stuff that I really need to get the videos done. It doesn't really have to be that modern equipment. Now, how do we get rid of all these white patterns? Well, we'll just leave it in place, I guess, until we fire up the machine again. Okay, so we'll just keep this white pattern for the moment. So anyway, this video, now that I've gone through why my video quality is so poor and why I'm waiting, until it's possible to do everything on the fly as opposed to post editing. The subject of this video is one of the biggest news stories right now is the implosion of the Titan submersible that Stockton Rush kind of engineered, breaking a whole bunch of rules. He was proud of the fact that he broke all the rules, so now he's dead because he broke all the rules. Now, there's an audio going there. Well, there's a short video going around YouTube. It's only in short form. It's YouTube's new thing, where it's like a 30-second video and it just repeats over and over. There's no place to leave comments or anything. Featured in these shorts is what is supposedly audio of the Titan implosion. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to prove that that's not audio of the Titan implosion. It's going to be pretty easy for anybody who knows a little bit about sound and has basic math skills. So I wanted to make sure that I got this right. I wanted to get the most professional and well engineered diagrams as possible. So I consulted NASA and the Oceanographic Institute, and I got the same reply from both organizations. A cover letter that started with "You idiot," and then but they did provide me this really scientific diagram of the ocean surface, ocean floor, the Titanic wreck, the distance or the depth, which is 3,800 meters, 3,810 to be a little bit more exact. That's how far down the Titanic is. It's 3,800 meters, 3,800 meters from the surface of the ocean. Now you listen to this audio, and the audio, it sounds very realistic and it's really eerie sounding, and that's why one of the reasons I love listening to it. Despite the fact that I've been a professional musician in the past and I play several instruments, I've composed several orchestra scores. I'm really more into sound than I'm into music. I'm just totally burnt on music. I never ever listen to music in my own time. The only time I listen to music is when I'm testing a customer's unit. I drive with the radio off. I just I learned all I want to know about music, and I just don't really want to hear that much of it anymore. But I am very fascinated with sound, and so this is some really interesting sound that this implosion produces. And just look it up on YouTube. Look up Titan Implosion Audio. Those specific three words, Titan Implosion Audio, and you'll find what is supposedly the U.S. Navy's recording of the audio, and there's a few other charts that don't mention the Navy, but it's the same audio clip basically. Now in that audio clip, you hear the implosion, and then you hear about 7 or 8 echoes. Naturally, because you're bouncing. Let's say this is the submersible. It implodes. Okay, so the sound naturally goes upwards, and then it bounces off the ocean floor, comes back down, or bounces off the ocean surface, comes back down, bounces off the floor, off the surface of the floor, until it finally decays amid the regular ocean noise. So I've measured these echoes at almost exactly 4 seconds apart, which means it's going. Okay, we don't count the initial implosion because that could be close to the surface, so it's not going to give an accurate distance. We don't know how deep it was when it imploded, but we do know how deep the floor is, and of course where the surface is. So we can make an accurate determination. Okay, this is 3,800 meters already. Now sound travels through water at 1,500 meters per second. Okay, so the echoes are 4 seconds apart. So we're going. Okay, we're not counting the first implosion. We're just going to count when we hear it. So okay, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's 4 seconds, per between echoes, which means it's 2 seconds to make for the sound to make a one-way trip. So sound travels at 1,500 meters per second in water. It's taken 2 seconds to go between the surface and the floor. That only allows for an ocean depth of 3,000 meters. 1,500 meters per second at 2 seconds gives you 3,000 meters. And okay, now you might say, well, maybe what if it's bouncing off of the Titanic? That would make the echoes come back sooner because they're not coming from the ocean floor. Okay, well, the height of the Titanic from waterline to boat deck is 60 feet. That's 20 meters, not 800. Another thing you might say is, well, what if they got the hydrophone, which is basically an underwater microphone? What if they got the hydrophone way down here? What if they got the hydrophone 800 meters down? Then that would make sense. Well, no, it wouldn't, because the hydrophone is gonna, still has to wait for the surface wave to come back. Now, when it's near the surface, it's gonna pick it up right when it hits the surface. When it's down farther, it has to wait for it to bounce off the surface and hit it. So the echoes are going to be equally spaced apart. Now, again, we're not counting the initial implosion. We're just counting the echoes. And so no matter where that microphone is, the echoes are going to be the same distance apart time-wise. So sound traveled at 1,500 meters per second through water, It takes 2 seconds to go all the way from the surface to the floor. That means 1,500, or that means that sound is traveling only 3,000 meters. This ocean depth is 3,800 meters. That's 800 meters not accounted for. So that basically proves, unless there's something I don't know, but we're using well-known we're using well-known facts. We're using the speed of sound through water, and we're using the titanic depth upon the on the ocean floor, which is 3,810 meters. Rounded to 3,800 to make the math a little bit easier. So there's no, from what I can gather and from my knowledge of sound, there's no way that this could be the actual Titan implosion video, because it's not down far enough. The echoes are too close together for it to be for the sound to bounce back and forth so slowly. If this were an actual Titan implosion audio, the echoes would be more than 5 seconds apart, noticeably more than 5 seconds apart. So there's just, unless there's something I don't know, and on this video only, I'm leaving comments open so people can discuss it among themselves, and maybe I'll learn something too. But unless there's something I don't know, there's just no way this could be the actual Titan implosion video, because the space in between echoes only allow for 3,000 meters of ocean depth. Okay, sound, the speed of sound through water isn't always exactly the same. Sound travels faster through warm water than it does through cold water. Well, that just further strengthens my point, because the bottom of the Atlantic is 28 degrees. Salt water doesn't freeze at 32. Salt water has a lower freezing part, so salt water can still be moving but be below freezing. So this is decidedly cold water at the bottom of the Atlantic that we're talking about. No variable that I can think of can account for 800 meters of missing ocean depth. So that's all I wanted to say, and it's my little rant for Saturday. It's my chance to show off a little bit of audio knowledge, or maybe to reveal a piece of audio knowledge that I don't know. But at any rate, I'm attempting to debunk the so-called Titan implosion video or audio, which I don't think is authentic. I think it might be an implosion of something at a much shallower depth. Ocean depth, but using these well-known figures, there's just no way that this could be the actual Titan implosion audio. So you guys just learned something, or maybe I'll learn something when somebody writes me and says, "You idiot, you didn't think about this or that." So go ahead and leave comments, not about 8 tracks. Just limit your comments to this discussion. And thanks for watching and listening, guys. See you next time.